What's going on? It's your boy again. Uh, uh, Once again, just trying to stay sane one day at a time, and it's way harder than people understand. 'Cause the line between sanity and insane is very thin. People call Einstein, people call Martin Luther King, they call George Washington, people call Napoleon. Well, he was crazy, but people called a lot of geniuses crazy, and while they was alive and they was living, only to discover that once they were gone, another generation came that they weren't crazy at all. I'm not saying that I'm a genius. That's not my point. My point is that the description or the understanding of sanity is very bleak. Like, we don't understand insanity, understand? Especially situational insanity. It's like, when you go through something, you may not permanently be crazy, but you pretty close to being, crazy at that moment. And this is my therapy, and y'all my psychologist don't even realize it. But today, in my late night confessions, I talk about my sons. I'm gonna let y'all into a private place of mine because, like, I really hide my sons. I wouldn't even be afraid to hide my sons from myself. If I'm not in the best situation or the best shape, if I'm not doing the best in the past, it's been like that numerous times. Like, I won't go around my sons because I know that the absence of me at a bad time is way less impactful than the presence of me at a bad time. So I know that went up some people's head, and it's okay. But fathers, don't be afraid to take some time to get yourself together before you go around your sons or your children, and don't be afraid to take that time to do so, because, like, you listening to people, and you listening to your baby mama, you listening to this person or that person, not having any understanding that your children aren't dumb. And one of the greatest mistakes that people made, especially my parents' generation, is thinking that we were dumb. It's so much more stuff I caught on to. It's so much more stuff that I knew what was going on, even at ages that people thought that I shouldn't. So I don't play these games with my sons, who are all A's since they was crawling, just like they did. Like, nope, I don't play no chances with these dudes. Like, I do not go around them when things are bad. And right now, financially, I'm fine. Living wise, I had two different states. My health ain't cool. And I can recall a time where, and I can't recall a time where, if I'm with my sons, they don't want to play football, catch. They want to be outside. They want to do something, sports, something. Because I know their mother is a woman. Their mother can't take them outside and play catch. You know what I mean? And stop underestimating the power of your time, fellas. If you got a baby mom, the only time she wants you around your kids when you spend money, if you let her trap you into that, then you're retarded. Your kids will enjoy going to the park, throwing football, playing basketball with you, than they would any experience that you could think of. Now, out up front, of course they're not going to say, I don't know, if I had a chance in between going to Sesame Street or going to Disney World and hanging out with my dad at the park, I'll check. Of course. Come on now, of course. Don't try to use rationality to, like, discredit what I'm saying. You know perfectly what I'm saying. If your sons, If you don't have money all the time, time is a commodity that you can never give too much of. And my twin, Christian, aka Fats, on Instagram is Odell Beckham Jr. You know what I mean? I love his personality, and people say that's my favorite, and that's not my favorite. I'll tell a little story about all of them really quickly. Twin be on here, and because of the phone situation and me being in the hospital again, trying to get in contact with each other and calling each other. It's like, so when he watched this and he see, and I'm gonna share with y'all the pictures that I look at, like, to keep me sane, to make sure that I realize when I wake up in the morning after I make fudge, and I sit back and I think about what my goals are for the day. I look at these pictures every day. Because sometimes I have to remember who I'm doing this for. Sometimes I gotta remember who I'm not just saying, fuck it, man, I'm tired. And giving up on many aspects, which I'm not going to do. Because I got them to look at. And I got them to focus on, and I know they need their dad. So, really quickly, when Wilson was small, he was in the hospital, and that's my firstborn, my namesake, Lil Capo, Big Boy. His name, Big Boy, and he wouldn't take. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'll be back in like 15 minutes. Okay?
Sure.
All right. Thank you, sir.
He wouldn't take the bottle, and his mom felt funny about breastfeeding him. Because she, didn't want to breastfeed him. I'll just leave it there. I ain't gonna tell the business, but she didn't want to breastfeed him. And he had a problem with latching on to the nipples, and the bottles he wasn't eating. And so, they was talking about putting a breathing tube on my son. And I was like, I'm not going away. I mean, she wouldn't let me go nowhere anyway at the time. And at the time, we was okay. Our relationship was okay then. And she wasn't going to let me go nowhere anyway. Not saying that I would have wanted to, but, So, we sitting there, and I'm like, I ain't letting them put no breathing tube, no feed tube in my son. So I'm sitting there and I'm playing around. I'm trying to figure it out. And it took me 2 days. I sat there for a day and a half, 2 days. Didn't eat anything. Didn't try to eat anything. All I did was try to get my son to catch this nipple on this bottle. Opened it up. The shorter one, the small one. And I finally did the pacifier trick, because he would take the pacifier trick, and I did the pacifier, and I finally figured out a way to do it. And the bond that I got with him doing that, we have to this day. Christian, twin, he was my middle son, Fats. AKA twin, like, for legal reasons, I'm not gonna go into no details, but I will say what happened. And she was pregnant with him, and I was a little loosey goosey at the time, and I was supposed to do something with a couple of my friends, and it wasn't something I'm proud of, and it wasn't something that I'm gonna say that was good. And to make a long story short, my son was born and it stopped me from participating in whatever was going on. And like I said, for legal reasons, so nothing can come back to me. Not saying it will, but it was me and 3 other people who were supposed to go, and they didn't go. I mean, I didn't go, so they went without me, and and I was upset. And I remember like being in the hospital, and I was a little upset because in my head I'm thinking like I missed out on all this money. And to make a long story short, my son saved my life. Everybody want to know why Twin is special to me. And he's not my favorite. I love all of my sons equal. It's because secretly Twin saved my life. It's safe to say that it didn't turn out right for those guys. And it turned out right for me because my parents and my family members was praying for me, obviously, not of my own doing. And when this sad situation occurred, I was in the hospital because my son was being born. To God be the glory. How can you not look at something that special that did that? It's an impossibility. White boy, Ethan, my youngest, pretty boy. No matter whether it was a girl I'm dating or a girl that I'm just with or somebody I might come across or whatever, so all they talk about is how handsome Ethan is. It's a handsome little boy. And he light, that's why we call him white boy. And plus he used to jump down. He used to be, Ethan, we call him white boy because he's crazy. And back in the day, you used to be afraid of, black kids and this, that, and third. But now, like, you be afraid of little white boys with trench coats on. You be afraid of them motherfuckers. Because, like, he was born during the time they just started shooting up schools and all that. Like these white boys were running around crazy. And so we call him white boy because he used to stand on top of the step, and you had to watch him because he would try to jump down the steps. And we used to have to put the dog. We used to put the thing up on the step like you would do if you had a dog that didn't want to come down the stairs. Because this dude would be trying to get up the steps. I'm talking about crawling. Trying to get up the steps to jump down the steps. Then one day I was like, this dude ain't gonna jump down the stairs. I'm gonna let him do it. His mom wasn't around, of course, right? So he goes to the top of the steps. He like this, swinging and shit. He's swinging shit. So I'm like, he ain't gonna jump. Man, this boy swung back and jumped. Shoo, 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 shoo. Thank God I caught him. Because I would have probably got killed. But I said, oh, this little dude is crazy. This little dude really try to jump in real life. And like, just a little, let y'all in a little space of mine, man, that, when times get hard and they get rough, I think about them. And I look at their pictures and situations like I'm in the hospital and you can't have visitors. And I'm saying I would want them to see tubes and stuff in my foot and what's left of it and all that. Like, I wouldn't want them to see that anyway, but they can't. But they pictures, just having a bond with them to the point where I could just look at their pictures and they help me get through it. But this is my late night confession. I hope it don't come across as sad, because it's not. I just want to, I know that they look at it on Instagram and I just wanted them to know that I love them, and y'all can look at this video if y'all miss y'all dad. Decopbo 1. Hold on. I'm sorry. Getting emotional. So, like always, Remember that if no one told you they love you today, I do. Nothing strange or weird. I'm just a person who got a spirit of love. And that's what people who have spirit of love do. We love, even though we have no reason to. Remember that you can have a great day on purpose, not because you cashed your check or you met the woman or man of your dreams, but just because. Also remember that if you have something that's in your life and it's making you miserable, you're a participant in your misery, because the same thing that you have in your life that's making you miserable is the same thing that you could take out your life and remove it. Yeah, Decopbo 1.